Welcome back to Adobe Muse CC. In this tutorial, we're going to cover on how to actually create our first website, starting with creating pages in Muse. So let's see how this works. So we're going to go to the File menu, go down to New Site, and basically this will open up a little window here, the New Site window. And we have a couple options here to go over. So the first thing is the max width page. By the way, if you hover over any of these items, it'll actually kind of tell you what it is. Choose largest page width at which your initial fluid and layout will be designed for. So I'm going to choose 1,000 pixels, basically. Type in 1,000 there. Here you can choose how many columns you want for your site. I'm going to choose 12, so I'm just going to click away here. You can also highlight and just type in a number. And then you want to choose whether you want a fixed width, which would be the old websites before we had mobile or tablet design. Now you can choose to do a fixed layout for a mobile specifically, and then write the code for that in the fixed layout for a desktop version. But typically, the way web design is going right now, most people are going for the fluid designs, also known as responsive designs in web design. Under the advanced settings, you can twirl open. In here, you can choose a minimum width or minimum height, basically for your content to be visible. I'm just going to leave the defaults there. You have margins and padding. Both of these you can adjust however you want. I'm going to go ahead and basically drop this down to 0. I forgot to unlock that. There we go, unlock it. Notice as I click on that lock button, it adjusts all of these options, because later on we can adjust the margin and padding. Under resolution, we're going to keep it standard, language English, and we're going to leave the sticky footer on here. Which, if you let the highlight shows up here, it'll kind of tell you what it means. So if sticky footer is not selected, footer items will be positioned at the bottom of the page. So let's go ahead and click OK here. And what you'll see is a single page and a master page. The first page is called the home page. So you can basically go to these little edges here to create new content. So you can insert a page here, insert one here, and you can insert a child page. So the child page is essentially linked here. So I could give it a child name of, section 12 or something like that. And out of, I could have a bunch of these, one after the other, and each one would be linked to the home page. I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the little X's here to delete them. On the home page, we're actually going to create new pages just by clicking to the right here. And so this one I'm going to call the About page. And then the next one, I'm going to click on the little plus symbol again. Call it, let's see, the Contact page. It's always good. And then, of course, you need some artwork. Let's title the Portfolio page. And so the way it works, these guys you can close out, obviously saw it before, delete them. You can add additional pages on each side, and you can create a child page that'll be essentially like this will be the parent, and as you move this, the childs will follow. So I can drag to rearrange. So I move it over here in between. You'll see that I have now swap portfolio for contact. If I actually drag portfolio underneath one of these, it now becomes a child. So the About page is now a child of the portfolio. I'm going to go ahead and drag it out again in between. Now you'll notice that I wasn't able to drag to the right and release. Muse doesn't allow you to do that, so you have to drag inwards. So if I want contact to be here, I would drag it in between. If I want portfolio to be inside and contact to be at the end, I can't drag contact out. It's just not going to work. So I'm going to flip it over like that and basically adjust it. So now we have created our pages. The last thing I want to explain here with this tutorial is what's the deal with the A master. You can see here each of these have a master page. If you have used InDesign, you're kind of familiar with the concept of the master page, but let's explore it. I'm going to double click on the master page, and what I'm going to do is grab a rectangle tool here and basically just draw a rectangle shape somewhere in here and add a fill. So some color here, and then click out. And what will happen is I go back to the website one, and you notice that same red square is throughout every page. And that's the way the master page works. Basically, any content that you want repeated through, like a background or something as an aspect of your design, will be repeated in each of these pages. However, if I double click on the home page and add another rectangle, and this one add a different fill, some other color, and then click out and go back to the website. You'll see here in the plan view that the home page has a blue, but none of the others do. That's because the red was on the master page and the blue is on the home page. It's not on the master page. So that's how you deal with the master page versus the individual pages. So we have our different views here. As you can see, we're in the plan view here. As we open up each of these, we have the master view and the home view here. All you gotta do is close these to exit out basically. And if you want to swap through each one, you basically can go from plan to design view depending on which one you have selected here. So I click on that. It doesn't look like it's going to work that way. So another way to do it is just double click and then poof, you're in portfolio view here. So that's it for this lesson and creating pages and dealing with the master page in Adobe Muse CC. See you soon. Until next time. Cheers.